You are listening to the Centropic Oracle, an audiobook podcast of science fiction and fantasy short stories that make you think and feel.
Blind Again by Stephen Taylor. What's it like going blind, you ask? I suppose I can tell you. I felt it 100 ways and 1,000 times, only to blink at the light again the next day. So far. I was a soldier when I first went blind. We were halfway back to cover when I tripped into a cloud of gas and smoke so thick I couldn't see my feet beneath me. It stung around my nose and ears, and my eyes felt raw and blood-rimmed when I got out. But I could still see well enough to get back to the bunker while my fellow soldiers shot down the plane that had gassed us. It was almost a week before my sight really began to go. By then, it was probably too late to do much, so the field medic cut them out to make space for implants. "Which one?" another vet asked me. "Both, left and right," I said. "Which war, I meant?" I had to puzzle over that a moment. I think it was with France. Maybe Korea? "I don't suppose it matters. Killing frogs and killing Koreans is pretty much the same." "I guess so. Every now and then we'll get a scavenger from another town. One came to our shelter with bottled water, oil, generators, guns, drugs, and other supplies to trade. A single look at me and he tried to buy my implants. "Bioelectric. I could feed you for a year if you let me take those to Baltimore for a buyer." "They don't have their own implants down there?" I asked. "No one's got implants anymore, old-timer. How much do you want for them?" I stiffened. "I'd rather not trade them. They don't work very well anyway." "Probably 'cause your body doesn't work well. Let me slap them on a younger man and they'll tick for years yet." "No trade, sorry." The scavenger got angry and tried to punch me, but another man from the shelter clocked him in the jaw and threw him out. I don't know the other man's name. None of us knew each other's names here, but we take care of each other all the same. It still feels good to watch another's back. My implants are temperamental, even on the best of days. I remove them for charging each afternoon, waiting sometimes 15 or 16 hours before I can see again. Maybe it's because I'm malnourished, like most of us in the bomb shelter, and bioelectric implants need to get their energy from somewhere. I eat canned beans, game, the occasional batch of tubers, fish when I can get it. There's more soda and beer than water nowadays, but we still have a few purifiers that work. I spend what time I can outside the shelter, foraging. Sometimes I find things to eat, or trade. Most of Chicago is still intact, though the skyline isn't what it used to be, and a few big scorch marks are all that's left of the Navy Pier. I'm usually halfway back to the shelter when my sight starts flickering out. Color typically goes first. The yellow smog coating every window seems to disappear, and I almost think the world's recovering. Then I realize that the sky is white again, no yellow there either. So I know I'm losing sight fast. I need to get inside. Other times my depth perception goes out. I think I see cars driving up the street at me, real operating automobiles. But they are only rusty husks abandoned a decade ago. They litter Chicago like cicada shells, stripped down to orange skeletons so brittle you could crush one under your own foot. They never move, so I know I'm going blind again and I hurry back toward the shelter. Once I didn't make it in time. The world went black, as it always does, only I had no idea where I was. I had to huddle in some corner of the street while the temperature dropped, wondering if coyotes would pounce on me during the night. It sounds rougher than it was, though. During the war, the one with Korea at least, I slept in worse places, and I had more to fear then. Men hurt me more than coyotes ever could. Do the blind see in their dreams? I doubt it. When I was young, every dream was an image. No real sound, no smell, no taste. Now I dream in the dark. It's a torture I don't wish on anyone. In dreams, my brother and mom become whispering ghosts. Physical comforts like food, warmth, a real bed or a hand on my own, or even worse, because everything is sound, odor, disembodied contact, unnameable, invisible. I can't orient myself by sensing something that's not there. All I can do is wait or wander. So I wait. My sight lasts maybe 5 hours before I have to retreat to the shelter, remove the implants, and charge them on an adapter I made from an old microwave. I should be used to it, shouldn't I? It's more nightfall than day now by a long stretch, but I'm never prepared. The onset of blindness is always just as terrifying as that first time, 40-odd years back. Maybe it's because I know the warning signs so well now. Lack of focus, diminished color, inability to judge distances. They all come. Different days. Maybe it's painful because I don't know when they'll come, only that they will, soon enough. As my implants weaken and their lifespan shortens, I have to wonder if that's it. The next time the lights flicker out, they might not come back on at all. So I have to ask whether this is the last time I'll ever see. Blind again. Someday it'll be for good. It always feels like that day.
We hope you enjoyed Blind Again by Stephen Taylor, read by Kenneth Tynan. If you'd like to learn more about the author and narrator of this story or make a donation to them, follow the story page link in the description. Pledge your support to us on Patreon for cool rewards and to help us bring you more stories. If you would like to submit a story for consideration or apply to be a narrator, a link to our submission guidelines is in the description.